Today, I will continue talking about the modernization of city-owned elevators. This one is the improved phase. So far, the completed work has been all capital plans have been made for um, 11 of the garages. I believe the only one we haven't done is the convention center, but we still are waiting to take control of it again. Proposals were given and negotiated. We gained access to TKE customer portal, and I don't know why I didn't put we, but it was parking division manager Kaiser and myself. Anti-vandalism buttons were installed, the north elevator shutoff valves were installed, tank heaters were installed, and the alarm battery was replaced. We also met with TKE division manager. I also met with TKE and division manager Kaiser to discuss changes moving forward, which means I have or we have completed the first portion of um, the modernization for the city-owned elevators. So, yay. When it came to brainstorming, I decided to use this type of diagram as to why the elevators are such low priority, due to security, understaff, priorities of management, well, previous management. Um, 2 years ago, we gained a new division manager, which is parking division manager Jeremy Kaiser, and then community complaints, aesthetic versus mechanics, and they always chose aesthetics, ADA compliance, and then budget priorities. And all this, I came to the conclusion that due to the priorities of previous division managers or division manager, they focused on what the public wanted through 311 complaints they received, and previous management saw an easy fix versus the many other issues the garages had to deal with. And lastly, the shared budget that parking once had with security made it difficult to make any type of renovations. Once security received a separate budget, parking was able to update and correct issues that they weren't able to before. This includes elevators and all its components. With good leadership and motivated staff, we can look forward to important renovations and updates being done not only to our elevators but to the division. The could be map, I felt like my the as is map and how I gathered that information, I felt like it was perfect. I felt that there weren't necessarily any flaws. Well, maybe one, and it that I noticed, and it was that once an opportunity kind of reached the parking manager, it depending on priority, it would kind of stay stagnant. I see it even now that there's a lot of projects going on, whether it's the staircases, the painting right now is stagnant, um, and a lot of other things. And because she is project manager of it all, she prioritizes what's more important, what will make money. To where if she were to have project managers for these various things, have them solely focus on a particular opportunity, not only will be able to get it done, but we would be able to get it done pretty fast. This process has started with me and taking the PMDP course, which of the much of the process would stop between the parking manager and upper management because there's currently many projects being done at one time. I believe if the parking manager were able to assign a project manager, they would be able to work on many more projects at a time. Now, this is the benefit for the city or for the department, for our supervisors, the parking manager. There's also benefits for whomever is project manager because it doesn't necessarily have to be a supervisor. It doesn't necessarily have to be upper management. It can be an employee, and like myself, it just needs someone that's motivated. And I believe a lot of these employees or a lot of my coworkers, if we're given a chance and were able to make the decisions I've made, was able to freely coordinate meetings, and they would go above and beyond to make this work, especially if this is their sole focus. This will allow whoever is assigned to be project manager to become intimate with the process of upgrading, updating, or making changes. It will create leadership skills within the project manager in gathering their own resources, creating their team, and coordinating meetings. I think this would be a great solution. The 5 whys of the solution. See, so for the who, I took it as, so who made the solution, which of course is myself, or who is the solution for, which is for any future employee looking to become a project manager or someone who wants to take over an opportunity. That, well, at least within parking, I guess. What is the solution? I have a simple solution that will alleviate any bottlenecks that happen between proposing possible opportunities between parking management and upper management, which, just like I said previously, is having someone who will be able to alleviate, sorry, not alleviate, to help with focus on that particular opportunity and actually, see it through fruition. When? When did I implement this solution? This is how I took it. I implemented the solution the day I chose an opportunity to work on within this department. Now, when I chose the opportunity, I didn't think this would be a solution. I ended up analyzing what I did and what would be the best course of action, and I slowly started seeing what the parking division manager was doing, what my supervisors were doing, and of course upper management. And I came to the conclusion that because I was solely working, oh sorry, this goes to this, where would this solution be taking place? My particular project is focused on the elevators within the garages, within all city-owned garages, which means it's going to be Acropolis, Civic Underground, 5th and Copper, 2nd and Gold, 4th and Lead, Convention Center, and Arno. And it's going to be all 13 elevators. That's if we don't get more. Why? Why this solution? See, and this is where I was already explaining. I had to analyze the progress I had done and the timeline in which I completed the project. And notice, because I was solely focused on this project, I was able to complete the work before the year ended. I was able to coordinate meetings. I had open availability, so there were times where my division manager, where I needed to have a meeting with the division manager, and he wasn't necessarily available, and his assistant would text me and she'd be like, okay, you have 10 minutes or you have 30 minutes or whatever, and I would take that opportunity. And it was when I was at work, when I would be doing absolutely nothing. Sometimes it was on my days off because my schedule had changed to graveyards and I was just doing nothing at that time, but I was able to do that because I didn't have a whole workload on my shoulders, like the way I feel the parking manager does, and a lot of upper management too. Uh, Project financial requirements. The elevators financial requirements are estimated to be $60,000 a year until the elevators are completely modernized. Now, this is more of an estimate, a huge estimate, to be honest. I don't even think a lot of these renovations or these upgrades or updates will max the 10,000. Sometimes I do feel that like a certain part or a certain garage, or not even a garage, a certain elevator will exceed the 10,000, but not all of them. It's an estimated max of 10,000 per garage, and that's just for them to fix the mechanical components. This will change once the cab is involved, and then the upgrades to the LED, the aesthetic parts, in other words. And then not every year will be a consistent amount. So not every year is going to be $6,000 or $60,000. This year was the first year that we actually invested in the elevators, and I believe the total came out to like 13,000 so and so, some around that ballpark. Yeah, 13,000. Personal requirements. I will still need the support of Director Montoya to move forward. This is a 5-year plan. I hopefully we have everything completed within the 5 years, and I believe I can do it. I believe I can do it before that, if the budget allows, and if the I will need my well, of course, myself as project manager and the one that's able to do all these things as coordinating meetings, talking to the resources, and finding new solutions to um, old, I guess, old ways of doing things. my 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 people or my resources like Jeremy Kaiser and Tracy Millman and Steve Ryle, who provide assistance in resolving issues and beyond my jurisdiction, or they're able to actually come to me and be like, hey, I got this done for you. Or like Tracy, she does the fiscal, the payroll, not payroll, the POs, where the vendors will get paid, and we just need to keep communication. Jeremy, who signs off on these proposals, and then Steve, who's technically my direct supervisor, so he's the one that allows me to come in. The team members, they provide support, information, or any type of paperwork that I needed. I know Christina Ribeiro. She's actually TK's new representative, and she is uh, an awesome help. Maria Grego, she's our parking manager, and she's also, with her hectic schedule, she's able to actually help me, or she's gone out of her way to help me. Anthony Tijerina, who is our maintenance, and he knows so much information about the elevators, and he's worked on them, and he's just been a slew of information. Anitra Jex has also helped me, but she, at this point in time that I'm making this, is no longer with us, so hopefully I'll be able to call her anyways. And then of course the stakeholders versus Thiessen and Crump, and having them, you know, they benefit, we benefit. It's a perfect little team. Our time frame. So from walking through with their representatives on January 1st, this was actually before I got this little project, all the way to to our future project, which is next year, and brainstorming with Representative Chrissy about what work we are to do for the next fiscal year, which, from my understanding, hopefully, crossing fingers, that we'll have a bigger budget to work with, and or I won't have to kind of downsize what I need for the garages, for the elevators, so that we can get these jobs done really quickly. But this is going to be a 5-year plan, and these are just the milestones that I have so far have had to go through. So from the beginning of my define phase, whenever I had discussed why we needed to fix these elevators, you know, the excessive usage, the aging equipment, vandalism, the poor maintenance, you know, it, the solution that that I've come up with has it fits even more now that I'm actually recording this and talking to you guys, because I mean, yeah, I'm a great example of how my simple solution can increase productivity when dealing with city opportunities. You know, my open schedule, I think I already said this, open schedule for meetings. Uh, I can be in location if they're working on an elevator and they need to be there now, and I don't have to do any prep work. I can be there. I can stop what I'm doing and actually go, because what I normally do isn't as important. Everything's important, but isn't as important as being able to get these modernizations done. And then of course I'm always focused on what's next for these elevators. You know, I've gone to learn these elevators inside out, and you know I call them my babies because I'm watching them grow and I'm watching them get fixed, and hopefully watching them beautify. I believe the parking division's transitional phase will be a perfect time to implement this solution. And so, because right now that our parking manager has so much on their plate, it'd be a great time for not only myself but other employees or the coworkers to step up and be like, I can take care of this. I can do the meetings. I can solely focus on getting the painting done in the garages. Oh, and I accidentally pushed it. But this is my updated project charter. The improved phase was finished on 11/04/21. Just didn't record it. And then control phase is also finished. The resources have changed. With Cristina Riviero has been updated and was replaced. And well, Cody Adams was replaced by her. So this is my improved phase. I hope you like it.